Welcome, creators.
It's nice to meet you all. My name is Henry, and I'm the Human Resource Manager here at AR Company. I'll be assisting our new recruits through the onboarding to ensure that everyone can have a great first day. Ready to begin?
What up, Chooms? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the latest updates on InZoi. The ambitious life sim is shaping up to be something truly special. If you've been following along, you know about Kjun's Concerns, a series where Kjun Kim, InZoi's producer and director, shares the challenges and decisions shaping the game. From how fast time flows to the realism of crime mechanics, we're breaking down all the concerns Kjun has posted so far, giving you my take on what they mean for the game, and for us, the players. And don't worry, I'll keep making videos like this until InZoi hits early access on March 28, 2025, and beyond. So buckle up, Chooms, because we've got a lot to cover. Let's get started. Concern number 1. How long should a day last? How long should a single in-game day last? This isn't just a minor detail, it's a core piece of the experience, shaping everything from how we interact with Zoes to how immersive the game feels. Kjun and the dev team landed on 96 minutes per day, but they've opened the floor to feedback. So let's break this down, look at the reasoning, and I'll share my take. Of course, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments too. 1. Realistic design meets gameplay limits. Kjun's vision for InZoi is clear. Replicate real life as closely as possible. Everything is designed to feel authentic, from travel times to the size of the world. But when it comes to time, realism hits a wall. Playing a full 24-hour real-time day isn't feasible or fun for anyone. So the dev team settled on 96 minutes as the sweet spot. It's enough time for Zoes to complete daily tasks like waking up, eating, and commuting without feeling rushed. It also allows players to soak in the Korea-inspired city of Dawon and interact with its many layers of gameplay. 2. The trade-off. But let's talk about the flip side. At 96 minutes per day, the game slows down significantly. For context, it would take 96 actual hours for a newborn Zoe to turn 60 without fast-forwarding. Even with the 5x speed option, that's still over 19 hours. That's a serious commitment for a simulation game, and not everyone has that kind of time to invest. Kjun acknowledges the challenge, but the question remains, is 96 minutes too long? Should the team speed things up or introduce more fast-forward options? Or maybe there's a more creative solution waiting to be discovered. My thoughts. I think 96 minutes sounds perfectly fine. Life simulation players are usually in it for the long haul, and I'd expect InZoi to follow that tradition. I don't expect to wrap up a character's life in one sitting when I start a life sim. The extended day length is consistent with the genre's appeal for immersion and storytelling. That said, there's room for flexibility to cater to different playstyles. Adding cheats or perks like the Sims' Steel Bladder could be a great way to give players control. For instance, impatient players could instantly age up a Zoe without disrupting the experience for those who enjoy the slower pace. It's a win-win solution that keeps everyone happy. Concern number 2, auto-drive or player-driven cars. Kjun and the development team faced a tough decision when designing how cars function in InZoi. The question was simple: should players manually drive their cars to destinations, or should the cars automatically drive themselves? Ultimately, they decided to prioritize the auto-drive option, and here's why. 1. The problem with manual driving. The team wanted to keep the world of InZoi scaled to realistic proportions, including roads. While this makes the world immersive, it creates challenges for manual driving. The roads are narrow, limiting freedom and speed, so you wouldn't get the same thrill as driving in a game like GTA. On top of that, the team felt manual driving might become repetitive, especially for players who don't enjoy driving in real life, like Kjun. Let's be honest, driving to work every day might be realistic, but it's not exactly fun. Finally, optimizing the game for manual driving would have required significant resources, which meant sacrifices elsewhere in the game. By focusing on auto-driving, the team could create a smoother, more cohesive experience overall. 2. Features to enhance auto-driving. To make up for the lack of manual driving, the devs are implementing features to keep cars engaging. Players will be able to wash and repair their cars, listen to music while driving, roll down windows to interact with other Zoes on the street. These additions aim to make cars feel like a meaningful part of the game, even without the hands-on control. My thoughts. I think the team made the right call here. Manual driving would be cool in theory, but in practice, it might get tedious, especially if the driving mechanics couldn't match the freedom or excitement of other games like GTA. The auto drive option feels like a solid compromise that keeps the focus on what InZoi does best, life simulation. However, I'd have loved to see a minigame mechanic tied to cars. Imagine a feature where players could test their customized car builds and simulated rabbit hole races against others based on their vehicle specs. It could include a quick cutscene to show the start and finish, with the winners unlocking new customizations and features. Think Midnight Club but simplified. Just enough to add some depth and competition without being too resource intensive. Concern number 3, unlimited floors or functional frames. Kjun and the InZoi team are tackling a critical question for players who love building and designing their dream homes. Should houses have an upper limit on the number of floors, or should players have the freedom to build as high as they want, even at the cost of performance? 1. The case for a 4-floor limit. Currently, the team has capped the number of floors a house can have at 4. This decision wasn't made lightly. Adding more floors means adding hundreds of furniture pieces, which can take a toll on performance, especially on lower-end computers. To keep the game accessible and enjoyable for as many players as possible, the team has been hard at work on optimization and graphics options. The concern is that unlimited floors could lead to performance drops, and players might misinterpret that as poor optimization, which would reflect unfairly on the dev team. 2. The case for unlimited floors. On the flip side, unlimited floors would allow for more creative freedom in build mode, which is one of Kjun's favorite aspects of the game. For players who enjoy pushing the limits of their imagination, removing the cap would be a dream come true. One potential compromise the team is considering is adding a toggle for unlimited floors with a warning. Enabling this option may not allow for optimal simulation and gameplay. This would give players the choice while keeping the default experience optimized. My thoughts. I think the 4-floor limit makes sense for accessibility and performance, but I also love the idea of giving players the freedom to decide for themselves. If implementing unlimited floors as a toggle doesn't compromise development time for other features, it could be a fantastic option. However, I take it one step further. Adding incentives for designing within the 4-floor limit could make the feature more dynamic. For example, there could be a system that rewards players for efficiently managing smaller spaces. Think points for creativity or bonuses for functional design. At the same time, offering the unlimited floors toggle with a warning gives hardcore builders the freedom they crave without impacting others' experience. Concern number 4, who gets credit on Canvas? So, let's talk creativity, because Canvas, InZoi's new sharing platform, is about to let us flex those design muscles like never before. Whether you're rocking Photoshop and Blender like a pro, or just want to dabble with a beginner-friendly toolset, Canvas is here to make your creations shine. But here's the thing, creativity deserves credit. Kjun and the dev team are diving headfirst into a tricky but important topic: how to properly protect and designate authorship for assets shared on Canvas. Nobody wants to spend hours designing something incredible just to have their name erased or forgotten, right? 1. The proposed rules for authorship. Here's the foundation the dev team has laid out to keep things fair. When you upload an original asset to Canvas, you're listed as the author, and that title stays with you no matter what. The exception? Customized rooms of houses? Those don't get authorship designations. For full presets, like a complete character, each part, face, outfit, etc., will display its respective authors alongside the overall creator. If someone downloads your asset and makes edits, guess what? You're still the OG creator. The only time authorship changes is when an asset gets completely overwritten with a default preset and then edited. Pretty solid rules, right? They prioritize recognition for creators while still letting others enjoy, tweak, and share assets freely. 2. Why authorship matters. Let's be real. This isn't just about credit. Authorship is about respect. It's about acknowledging the time, effort, and heart that goes into creating something special. But beyond that, it also sets the stage for some exciting opportunities down the line. For example, what if Canvas became a full-blown marketplace where creators could sell or trade assets? If that ever happens, a robust authorship system is critical, and even without monetization, features like co-authorship for team projects or a verified creator ranking system could make the platform way more dynamic. My thoughts. Honestly, I think the current rules are a great starting point. They're simple, clear, and put creators first. But if we're dreaming big, I'd love to see some extra features added. Co-authorship for collaborative creations would be a game changer. Imagine teaming up with friends or other players to design something epic and sharing the credit equally. A ranking or verified system for top-tier creators could incentivize high-quality work and add a sense of achievement. And hey, if Canvas ever became a marketplace, game over. That would take player creativity to a whole new level. Concern number 5, name order. First last or last first? Alright, next up we're tackling a deceptively simple but surprisingly nuanced topic. Name order or naming conventions. Sounds easy, right? But for Kjun and the dev team, deciding between first last or last first name formats turned into a full-blown cultural and logistical puzzle. Let's break it down and see how they landed on their solution. The name order dilemma. In Korea and many East Asian cultures, names are traditionally written as last first. For example, Kjun's name would be Kim Hyung-jun. But in English-speaking countries and beyond, we're used to the first-last format, making it Hyung-jun Kim. At first, the team tried matching the name order to each city in the game. Last first for the Korea-inspired Dowon and first last for the America-inspired Bliss Bay. It made sense until they realized players could mix cultural contexts. An American player might live in Dowon, or a Korean player might settle in Bliss Bay. Suddenly, the neat city-based system didn't feel so neat. 2. The new approach, player-centric names. To solve this, the team made a simple but elegant shift, letting you decide. Now, name order is tied to your language settings. If your game language is set to English, names will appear in the first-last format. If your game language is set to Korean or another East Asian language, names will display as last first. This approach ensures that names feel natural and familiar, no matter where you're from. It's a small detail, but it speaks volumes about the team's dedication to making InZoi feel welcoming to players from every background. My thoughts. I love this solution. It's simple, customizable, and respectful of cultural differences. What more could you ask for? Honestly, I think this kind of attention to detail is part of what makes InZoi such an exciting project. That said, I'd love to see an optional toggle for name order in case players want to experience something outside their default settings. For example, an English-speaking player might want to see names in the last first format while exploring Dowon to better connect with the city's culture. It'd be a neat way to give players even more control.
Well, that wraps it up for me. Please follow your new supervisor, Psycat, to create your own amazing story. Good luck, everyone!
And that's it for this breakdown of Kjun's concerns. It's clear InZoi is shaping up to be a game that pushes boundaries while staying rooted in player collaboration. As always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Which feature are you most excited about? What would you tweak? And don't forget, I'll keep covering Kjun's concerns and other updates all the way to early access and beyond. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, sub to the channel, and share it with your crew. Until next time, stay real, Chooms, and game on.